You have probably heard that you should color inside the lines, but who makes the lines? What we perceive as lines are breaks between color, value, shape, and pattern. Lines are a way that our brains make sense of the objects we see. Lines show the separation between an object and the background. This is positive and negative space, and also indicates the thickness of an object to give it depth. The term used for these lines is contour line drawing. A contour line drawing is much like the coloring book drawing you used as a kid. We don't need someone else to draw the lines for us. Today, we make the lines. Always use unlined paper for your drawings. Sketching or drawing paper is best, mostly because it's heavier and has more tooth. Tooth is the roughness of the paper. Drawing paper can hold up to more erasing than computer paper. Computer paper is smooth and great for drawing too. Use what you have and have fun. Pencils vary too. Drawing pencils, which do not have erasers on top, are labeled with numbers and letters. These indicate how soft or hard the pencil is. Softer pencils make much darker marks. A 6B is softer than a 4B, which is softer than a 2B. HB stands for hard black. The good old number 2 pencils are HB pencils. So are mechanical pencils. You can use any type of pencil, but you want to do any shading with dark areas with the softer pencils. A white eraser is best for erasing pencil drawing. It isn't as abrasive as the pink kind and is less likely to tear the paper. To begin your contour line drawing, select your objects and place them in an area that has good light. It might be easier to have the light directed from the side to help indicate form through the contrast of light and dark. Before you begin to draw, spend a lot of time looking at the object you will draw. Think about the sizes of one part compared to another. This is called proportion. Ask yourself, how tall is this compared to how wide? Look for places where lines intersect. These can be very helpful in determining proportion. Also look for negative spaces. These areas help you see angles in your object. Begin your drawing by placing a light mark to indicate the width of your object and its height. Look back and forth from your object to your paper to make sure that the proportions are similar. Very lightly sketch in basic shapes. To sketch means to make very light lines. This allows your brain to select the one that is closest when you make a more determined line later. Continue to sketch and look at your object and then back at your paper. Focus only on the contours of the object, those outer edges. Imagine your pencil drawing along the edge of the object. Once the outer edges are defined, then move on to the inner details. Look for angles and proportions again. While it's tempting to focus on the patterns and letters you may see on the object, only look for three-dimensional things. Look very carefully for edges that define the depth of objects. For example, a shoestring is not perfectly flat. It has depth, and that line changes as it turns. Again, the key is observation. Look hard for all the lines that define the form of your object. Realistic drawing requires concentration and time. Remember, if your drawing does not look the way you would like, resist the temptation to just say it's ugly and give up. Instead, reflect on your work again by looking at the object. What parts are in proportion? Proportion is usually the issue in drawing. What parts are out of proportion? How could you change it to make it better next time? Most of all, enjoy the journey as you learn a new skill and make your contour line drawing.